have regarding the Nigerian maritime industry. On behalf of our crew at Nimasa this week, I want to thank you for watching. I'll be back next time. Safe journey.
He is my son. He didn't learn any of the things that we learned growing up.
In AJ, right?
Oh no.
How long do I have? Kolade, if you're watching this, it just means that I am dead. Before you can take over my estate, I want you to spend 7 days in Ajigmule.
Kroger,
Who be that?
yeah, I need your help.
You just say if you afford my help.
Tell me, what are you really doing, Najibule?
Even if the boy lasts 1 day, one day, they will still learn something.
This is the network service of the NTA.
They swore an oath to serve our fatherland and defend the people. They traded their freedom, comfortable homes, and mortgaged their lives on the battleground for our unity and peaceful living. These are the great, fearless, loyal, and committed Nigerian armed forces who risked their lives courageously to safeguard our borders. But in the line of duty, many never returned. Nigerians, arise, let's celebrate our fallen heroes. Put on the remembrance emblem with pride to support the incapacitated and families of our fallen heroes.
It is indeed befitting to honor the memory of the gallant hearts and men who paid the supreme sacrifice to keep the country united.
President Muhammadu Buhari enjoins all ministries, parastatals, religious and corporate bodies to donate generously to the Emblem Appeal Launch. Send your donations to these accounts. Account name, Emblem Appeal Launch. Account number 393-200-7526. EcoBank Nigeria PLC.
"20 years of travel and counting. 20 years of promoting tourism in Africa and diaspora. Over 3 million kilometers traveled. Over 30 African countries visited. Explored the diaspora in 4 continents. Connected over 100,000 happy tourists to Africa. Reached over 50 million homes. Igniting smiles across Africa and beyond. As Kogi Africa turns 20, we thank you and invite you to join us in the quest for 20 must-visit destinations in partnerships with the largest TV network in Africa, the NTA, Ministry of Information and Culture, Ministry of Transportation, Studio 24, Delta Airline, Toll Brokers International. You too can still be a partner. Call the numbers on your screen or info@gogiafrica.tv. Kogi Africa, celebrating 2 decades of heritage, travel and tourism.
My name is Yemi Adetunji, the COO downstream of NNPC. Ever since the closure of the borders, we have seen a marked reduction, about 10%, in terms of the evacuation of what you call loadouts of PMS. It equates to about 6 million liters per day, essentially because of the border closure, because of certain aspects we've also done as NNPC, working with our sister organizations, sister agencies, Nigerian Customs, DPR, Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources, and other agencies, and also what we call Operation White, which is an intervention we have put in place to trace and track every molecule of petroleum products as they arrive in country through the vessels, as they move through the depots, and as they're evacuated with trucks out of the depots.
Chief. Good morning, sir. You are here already?
No, now my spirit day, my body day for house. What kind of question is that? Were you not the one that fixed this meeting for 8 a.m.? You are now coming by 10 a.m. and start asking me jab questions.
But Chief, now, I'm sorry. Don't you also go late for meetings sometimes? You know now, African time.
No more African time. And no more pancaking of face during office hours. At the end of the day, we will lose valuable time. We will not make progress. If we want to move this nation forward, we must treat business as business and respect time. Change begins with me.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Can we go for the meeting now, Chief?
Better.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Peace and security are essential components of development. Indeed, the essence of any government. Nigeria, like any other country, has had its fair share of conflicts, mostly internal crises that have threatened the core of societal peace and security. Armed banditry, militancy, insurgency, kidnapping, farmers-harvest conflicts, land and boundary conflicts, smuggling, and various economic crimes. These and more constitute the various dimensions of crime and security threats in Nigeria.
The issue of insurgency in the northeast is directly linked to the issue of terrorism in the Sahel, which is an increasingly volatile neighborhood. And the situation in the Sahel is also derived from what is happening in Libya, which in turn is affected by the lack of security in Syria, which derives its own situation ultimately from Iraq. Now, when we look at the issue of farmers and pastoralists' perpetual conflict, it is also linked to the influx of armed groups and the proliferation of small arms and light weapons across porous borders. In our own case, we're talking of some 4,047 kilometers of land borders. Again, when you look at the upsurge in armed banditry, it is part of a sphere of transnational organized crime which is affecting us. And looking at the Niger Delta situation, basically the activity of criminal gangs in the Niger Delta are equally linked to pipeline vandalism, oil theft, piracy and sea robbery in the Gulf of Guinea. Now this has brought about untold problems and placed our maritime economy in dire straits, while at the same time putting in a difficult situation our energy infrastructure.
Crime is dynamic. Therefore, the approach to tackling crime requires a dynamic and strategic approach. Nigeria published its maiden national security strategy in 2014, and since then, the security environment has continued to evolve, giving rise to emergent challenges. While it is true that significant progress has been made on multiple fronts between 2014 and 2019, the nature of security challenges facing Nigeria today is more complex than in the past. The National Security Strategy of Nigeria outlines the major security concerns of the nation, for which policies and strategies have been articulated, and how the government plans to deal with them. The document is general in content, and its implementation depends on other national strategic documents, such as the National Counterterrorism Strategy, Cybersecurity Policy and Strategy, the National Defense Policy, and the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan. On Wednesday, 4th December 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari commissioned the 2019 National Security Strategy. The reviewed document was presented in council by the National Security Advisor, Major General Babagana Monguno, retired.
It's a significant concern for nations in the 21st century is the ubiquitous nature of security threats, as well as the increasing frequency with which they occur. Added to this are the unpredictable consequences, especially in terms of specificity of targets and the devastating effects these incidents have not only on humans, but also physical structure. Now, this has led most nations to develop strategies which are primarily driven by their own individual national interests, which are at the same time compatible with the universal philosophy of national security as it stands in this troubled century. Obviously, these countries have been motivated by their own dark experiences in terms of perpetual conflict, especially those that are fratricidal in nature. And this has led them to insist on improving their security situations and developing an abiding passion for enhancing peace and security in these nations.
The vision, as highlighted in the 2019 National Security Strategy, is to make Nigeria a secure, safe, just, peaceful, prosperous, and strong nation.
The National Security Strategy, its maiden edition was published in 2014. Ever since then, evolving trends in the security environment have given rise to new and more complex challenges, thus necessitating a review of this national security strategy based on the timeline of 5 years, which is stipulated for the review of this strategy. Therefore, at the instance of Mr. President, I convened a committee of experts drawn from the various departments and branches, relevant branches of government, to undertake a rigorous review of this strategy, drawing inputs from various ministries, departments, and agencies. Thereafter, I tasked this committee with the formulation of the National Security Strategy of 2019. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to present the outcome of this work of the committee, which is a national security strategy, and it addresses the current threats faced by the Nigerian nation, as well as those threats that are anticipated to emerge in the near future.
While the inherent mission of the strategy is to apply all elements of national power to ensure physical and human security, a just society, peaceful coexistence, national unity, prosperity, and sustainable development, while promoting Nigeria's influence in regional, continental, and global affairs.
Now, the core philosophy of this national security strategy is human security. This is a shift from the state-centric orientation we've been used to a new paradigm in which the safety and well-being of the individual citizen is the primary basis for all national security measures. And this is what I call the Muhammadu Buhari approach to national security in this day and age. Currently, our national security strategy tries to mitigate adverse national security indicators in its desire to achieve the delivery of positive governance outcomes for all the people of Nigeria. Now, in so doing, this document takes a comprehensive look at how to enhance the capacity of security agencies and how they need to collaborate with each other. Now, as we consolidate on the successes of peace building in the Northeast and the Niger Delta, the clear lesson for all of us here is that the key to sustainable peace and development is to guarantee security both in terms of economy and social status for everybody. Now, what the strategy does is to look at our national security objectives and align these objectives with this administration's goals in fighting corruption, giving access to improved education, taking care of the healthcare problems, as well as increased productivity in the agricultural sector. But rooted in this strategy are issues that may not be very visible to the naked eye, but issues which have tended to be malignant and have continued to cause a lot of greater problems for this society. Fundamentally, if we are going to take care of this problem, we need to try and safeguard the fast-growing young population of Nigeria. And guess what? we need to look at issues of poverty, eradication, and illiteracy. The issue of illiteracy is directly linked to the issue of children not going to school. This Al-Majiri phenomenon, which we've been talking about, we cannot continue to push it under the carpet, because what? Eventually it will come back to bite us in the butt big time. We need to deal with this issue, and it is a responsibility for all of us to try and take care of this issue without any inhibitions. And I'll tell you one thing, the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, in its pursuit for greater and enhanced security, will not allow itself to be blackmailed or handcuffed by the disarming philosophy of compliance with certain aspects that are socio-cultural in nature and which people tend to be averse to dealing with. We must grab the bull by the horn and deal with these issues.
President Muhammadu Buhari, in his address, reinforced the commitment of his administration to promoting peace and security of Nigeria.
I am very pleased to note that the National Security Strategy of 2019 is a product of painstaking and rigorous deliberations by relevant stakeholders committed to the task of safeguarding our nation from both internal and external threats. It represents a thoughtful, strategic, and practical expression of our resolve to make Nigeria safe for development, investment, growth, and prosperity, and for everybody. Our administration priorities for the second term include pursuing improvements in education, healthcare, and agriculture. These priorities reflect our commitment to enhancing the social security of Nigerians as a means of improving their physical security. I am happy to observe that the National Security Strategy reflects this thinking with its emphasis on overall human security. I am pleased also to note that the strategy emerged from a broad-ranging consultative and participatory process that elicited contributions primarily from our security, intelligence, law enforcement agencies, and the armed forces. Other stakeholders, such as ministries, departments and agencies, and the civil society, were also contributory to this document.
Efficiency of the military forces, the police, the security intelligence agencies, and the paramilitary are vital to achieving the goals clearly spelled out in the 2019 National Security Strategy.
It's a major, decision, and it's a major political direction that really gave, the army in particular, and then generally the military, to have now a focus.
Some kind of sea robbery and piracy, on the other hand, has surfaced. Of course, we are tackling that as we speak with different strategies we've put in place. I will say that the Nigerian Navy has done quite a lot in reducing illegal crude oil theft that we've had in the very past. We've made several arrests to that effect. We have about over 40 ships that has been seized and are lying out there in the various naval bases.
We've been able to achieve the tasks that we have set for ourselves because of, first and foremost, the enabling environment created by the present leadership, the federal government leadership. The environment has made it so easy for us to to be able to pursue our aspirations and our objectives without any problems. We have seen a lot of commitment, a lot of patriotism on the part of our pilots who spend so many hours overhead Zambiza forest, who spend many hours diving and trying to locate where the enemy is in order to ensure that Nigeria is safe. They equally have played a very, very crucial role.
Whether they are kidnappers and armed robbers, and for that reason, we don't go to them with kid gloves. We go to them well prepared. In order to complement your efforts, we shall soon fully resuscitate, reorganize, and expand the operation of Safer Highway Patrol Scheme. This is with intent to enhance visibility policing within the public space and particularly at vulnerable areas across the country. We are also exploring the concept of safer city, where CCTV technology will be optimally engaged to support our operations. In addition, we are exploring the possibility of establishing National Crime Analysis Center, which will be engaged in the collation, analysis, and dissemination of criminal intelligence.
Galvanizing support and interagency cooperation is key to the objectives of the security strategy. Nigeria's security architecture must be dynamic and responsive to dealing with emerging threats to peace, security, and stability of the country.
The same range you're at right now, however, I want you out in the midstream or slightly to the right of midstream, over. Foxtrot 1 is Foxtrot, over. Foxtrot 1, this is Foxtrot, request you take station on my starboard.
It is without any doubt that President Muhammadu Buhari is deeply committed to fulfilling his campaign promise of securing Nigeria to guarantee economic and social development.
This strategy will inform government-wide and society-wide measures designed to promote the public safety and the national security. Security is a bottom-to-top operation. Failure at any level leads to serious lapse in overall security. I therefore call on all of you gathered here as heads of ministries, departments, and agencies to see yourselves as stakeholders and partners in the onerous task of securing our people and to demonstrate unity of purpose in implementing this strategy.
Follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
geology of Nigeria is characterized by sedimentary rock formations prevalent in the south, while basement complex rock formations are found majorly in the north and central parts of the country. Oshongo local government area of Benue State is located within the north-central zone and has predominantly features of large outcrops, which are basically extrusive igneous rocks. These rocks are scattered unevenly throughout the landscape, giving the whole landscape a rocky outlook. Also on Oshongo Hills are relative occurrence of metamorphic rocks such as marble, slate, quartzite, which can be used decoratively in buildings and sculpture. It was at Oshongo Hills that the Tiv race fought and won the war which brought about the birth of the Tiv nation.
On these hills, you will see some footprints, and these footprints indicate that it was a meeting place for our traditionalists. And in those days, the entire Kwande Oshongo that was known to be called Kupo was their meeting place. This was their meeting place. Until even today, some of their sensitive things that they want to discuss and look into, they come to this place so that they will find a quiet place to sit and discuss and also remember their old days.
A good view of Oshongo Hills gives an impression of a ring of plateau with the Oshongo town right in the middle of it, a natural protection there.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the YouReport link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
This is the network service of the NTA.
It's the music I promised Auntie Segi and the rest of them.
Those people, no man they be here. Nobody they talk. That I beg all the thing I hear what. What's that? You know the
second one. Okay. Mommy. It's just like I was telling you the other day. You have to remember to be nice to them. What was the last thing they told you?
Customer is king.
You remember? Customer is king. Mommy, we cannot afford to lose their patronage, so we have to treat them well. Shemo.
I don't know. You know, we'll lose them again. We'll get them.
Amen. Mommy.
What do you mean?
Mommy, since they have requested for healthy meal, I have decided that we should cater for their needs.
So, what do they do? You work on Mombasa.
Elei, broccoli. Elei, cauliflower. Elei, cabbage. This cucumber. This is carrots. We have potato, sweet potato here too.
This you want to. Now this one not go for them. And then, you can say Uda and chili. Go for the chop this one.
And you too, Mommy. You too, you will try it first.
I'm happy to tell you that. What did happen to Amala? But we are for all of you. I think for multiple years, say this is no cost.
No, no cost. I'm orange market.
Orange market. Where that one? I don't know.
How about Mommy? This is the market where all these veggies are being sold. And very cheap. Nyafu. Very plenty.
No cost.
It's not cost at all.
Who won't cook this? I've been at them, you won't give me them.
Mommy, this one's okay. For where we shall arrange for a special chef who is going to prepare all of this. Yes, and there shall be a special day for healthy meal.
Yeah, people say land.
Yes, Mommy, let me go and see to the veggies.
But next time, if you won't plan anything like this, must let me know. Let me get this. It's not even home.
Mommy, I'm sorry. Shemo, I'm just so eager for us to move to this next level you're always talking about. Okay?
Let the music! Yeah.
You won the lottery. Last time it was Udo that was dancing and singing call the wind. And today you are putting down.
And they give
what are we celebrating?
And they give them what's that? Say no good man. No good man person they jolly. They happy. Say no good news.
Please give us water first,
Okay. Then I wash am. And sit down, enjoy my AC. You know, say I don't service am well. It dey cool like no man's business.
This sun is too much.
Telling you.
Hey, yours is better now. You have car. Eh? Hey, there is AC in your car. Me have to walk, stand before I get tired.
I don't joke without my AC.
Something else, Joe.
Don't worry. It's not
well done. I see you are looking very shiny. Wallahi.
Generally, yeah, but you see.
I know, have I? Every time you are looking shiny, I
Hey, my Michelin, Dunlop, combine.
Yeah, my goodness. If I say you don't give me a new name, yeah, it's alright. What is the plan?
What is it? Oh, we came in shortly before you did. And Iyamodino over there, CEO Iyamodino, 6-star new level restaurant, decided to offer us water on the house. I'm telling you. So we're just cooling down before we place our order.
Yes.
The weather. The weather is very hot.
Are you giving us water on the house? I think you stopped drinking.
Don't be the one I ask, so I give you. I don't want to drink this one for this place. I can carry and go out.
No one.
You people will never stop playing around.
Oh no!
Bala, when you people walked in, you were laughing, laughing. What was funny now?
Over to you.
Before I give Una the story, let somebody come and take our order. I'm famished.
Wait a minute. Whoa, did you just say famished?
Yes.
Wow, impressed.
I don't understand. You tell so now only you and ABS are we blow to the chair English. Well, I don't blow once in a while.
You have joined the league.
Oh yeah, Bala, tell us now what was funny now.
Share the joke, please.
Wallahi wa. So, this story, is a very crazy story.
Are you serious?
Unbelievable.
I hear you.
Police catch one fant top this morning. For wawa. Fant, woman fant. Wallahi. Na him the thief con the shop. I know better. I have a thief plus maga.
Breakfast your day. Every day.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
In Nigeria, there is one sound we need to silence. So let's silence toothache before it starts with Oral-B All-Round Protection. Its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth holes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because the only sound we really want to hear is that of our future. For healthier, stronger teeth in 1 week.
Breakfast your day. Every day.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
I never heard that kind of thing before.
No.
The thing where they rain now.
Very funny story.
Where did be that one again?
This is 6 star. You're supposed to be yelling, collecting music. Let me tell you. Those people, they thief gears to pump. They sell it to ritualists to make money. Yeah, that is not all. Those ritualists, they now call themselves G+ boys. That's it. They have come to another level. Entire Jesus. In Jesus. There is problem in the society.
Serious problem, wallahi.
Hey, Lord have mercy.
For pant how?
You are talking about level. I'm not talking this wahala go carry level. Does this level go bring wahala? I not tell you.
Oh my God, Lord have mercy. But how they go dey thief pants?
Hey, Auntie Efe, you don't know. It's been trending all over the news, social media, everywhere. Yes, so it is so bad that some people use their wives or sisters' pants to make money rituals, especially when there is monthly thing.
Jesus.
That bad.
Auntie, come now. Let's eat the food ourselves now. She's 10 minutes. I think you guys are too funny. Auntie,
This pan, neither will be matter.
Say this one no way back.
Wallahi, the way they turn the shake like outside. No, you're tough.
You're tough.
So, what now happens to the girl whose parties?
Some people said she might run mad. Others said she might not be able to make babies again. But whatever the case may be, it is bad and scary.
Very bad and scary.
Why will this person not host and leave our future wives alone?
Shall you they count your own, None is a missing. Ginger, none is a missing.
What is that now? Stop it now. Why me?
Why you? Because you matter to Balamana. Say, listen, I want to make you a dream. Make you give me before those of us. Wallahi, it will be better for you if you give me, make we do it fast before your family go call us.
Bala, can you please stop it? Auntie Segi, please, stop it now.
What kind of place? Just taking it too far, really.
This will not be laughing matter. I even hear say some of these girls now, then they go about. They no even they wear pants, they waka come out again now. I'm telling you. Now beside them they waka, they no wear pants. Now nakedness, they don't they can be that.
Hey, people, this matter is not funny. It's not a laughing matter.
I tell you.
Which kind of world are we now living into, your Lord? What is our world turning into? Oh, you know they knew. All because of money.
I don't even know the thing what I could do now. How woman go come out house like this with no pants? Now the best don't naked.
Young Medina. No be an old woman like you pant them the tip. Even now you're just like your like Medina.
Wiru. Yellow bear.
Well, may I tell you, as now they laugh, now crying I suppose make that to cry. Because this thing not be small matter at all. My prayer be say make police catch these people. And make them deal with them wild. It's not that they laugh. It's a serious thing, actually. Modino, come.
Well, they could just carry the fault. They will call you Kamla.
This thing is not a laughing matter.
So we cannot go out safe again.
At all.
Now the carry this kind matter they laugh. Now I got sister for house. And I got wives for house. And I got them. And then they carry and they laugh. It not be laughing matter.
I don't have.
You no get sister. If you never marry, you no get sister.
Is it not about future wife? No be woman you go marry. They there they laugh. It's not.
May I do their food for them, please.
So for me.
Please, the usual, the very usual ones.
No, should they come? Should they come? Do am well, oh. They smell nice. Oh, yeah. No, sir, don't go to serve. The moment they give you carry and go, no waste time. Bala, where you dey go? You dey go with that?
I don't go.
Bye.
Wait. Where is the carrying and where my uncle?
Bala, you know what happened? What happened now?
So I have to just go and feast.
Okay, and this for the salad.
Next level is here.
Please, our own food is not here. Me have a bottle. I'm carrying.
Wow.
I want to have a bit.
Yeah.
Hey. Please take it closer. It's not something. Just go slow.
Thank you.
You will which one, wallahi? Eh, wallahi.
Thank you, my darling.
Can you see what I am seeing?
It's okay. Okay. Iyamodino, is this really for us?
Yes, now.
Okay.
To.
This looks really good. I will stand up to dish this one. This is mixed vegetables. I'll do this first. Even the aroma.
How are you?
This is good. Mixed vegetables with sweet potato.
Potatoes.
Ajibala,
You asked for this.
No, you know.
So you can't complain.
Wallahi.
Help yourself.
I will eat it. You know, I'm used to this food well, wallahi.
Men I try, men I don't waste time. It go cold.
So,
how are you using your hand now?
Please give me small stew so I can use it to go.
Stew.
Use the veg.
Although you are a bushman, see how you put your hand inside.
Imagine. I will not leave my chop and come here. You don't want me to eat today.
Listen to them now. Make a boy sad the team be.
I don't want all this amendment.
Try it now. Try it.
Sagi, how it be?
My God. This is good. This is good. Yeah, Modino. Thumbs up. Next level is here.
Please.
Yeah, Modino.
This is delicious.
Please, can you give me small stew? Let me see to eat this.
Stew, come on.
Sagi,
I will not leave my I will leave my chop and come here. Hunger will be marrying me. But yeah, what is this one?
Try this thing.
Give me food now. I'm hungry.
Just the way doctors
who you want serve now? Go serve the person who wants serve now. Who can be the one who will be this?
This is yummy.
Jimana, wallahi, so.
What is my own food?
See, Chidi and Udo, wallahi, this is very sweet for. Okay. Yeah, I hope so you be quick at this kind of food for. Wallahi, it's very delicious. Wallahi.
Yes.
Udo and Chidi, makuna test this food. It's very sweet for. Wallahi, sweet well.
Don't worry, let this confuse us another day. Sorry, confuse us another day. Not today. Not today.
Try it.
Look at it now. Is this not food? Look at food. This is food. Yeah, Modino. God bless you. Thank you very much. You do well.
Okay.
This is not amusement.
Modino. We go sleep there again. Wow. Make I test them.
milk for your family because 100% of our milk is sourced from our farms. This means that we control the entire production process from grass to glass, taking great care in every step to ensure the milk that gets to you is of high quality, great tasting, and enriched with essential nutrients that are great for your family. Available in Dano Cool Cow, Dano Full Cream, Dano Slim, and Dano Flavored Milk.
How far can you go? When your village is connected to the global village, you go. When 30 million people have a bank in their pocket, they go. When 560 million of us can plug into a high-speed digital highway, we go. When we can use technology to teach where books can't reach, we all go. When over 5 million people have a job to do, and 4 million small businesses can make it big, they go. When you're driven by the unstoppable spirit of Africa, you go. Say if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. We're good together. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Breakfast your day. Every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
Good idea.
Oh. Food that I will pay. I will pay for. Huh?
Oh.
America. How you guys enjoy your own? Yeah, this one. Enjoy this one too. I can't take this one. I will take it.
Delicious.
I will drink it here now.
Yeah, Modena, well done. We are not talking again.
Chidi. Udo. No, when I miss. Don't worry. Let me eat my own too. And broccoli. No broccoli. Rice. Very sure food.
Aye. No, sir, this is not enough. More rice.
I need two more, don't worry.
Prompting.
Okay. The one I have.
Hi, wallahi. Hamadina. Wallahi, my balance it well. This food now correct.
Another level.
Wallahi, this now next level, wallahi. Yeah, I enjoy it.
Yeah, no. You mean you prepared this? You?
Not you.
So who?
Wait.
Now I can talk.
Okay.
Yes, you see, when you are enjoying a delicious meal like this,
yes,
you do less of talking. Here, Motino, please, who made this delicious delicacy?
My second time, if you don't ask me, don't ask again. And then I'm Modena cook this special food. Now it's my special food. Come on, tell me. Then they want to. Wow.
Your mother said you made this.
delicious. Oh. You know what? Wow.
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Because you, my dear, have just elevated your restaurant to the next level.
Hello, listen to me, everybody. Am I your mama? Because not every day now. So next time you come, you go pay because I will find like so young. That's all. This today on a taste.
Wallahi gaskiya iya Madina, this food is sweet well. See, as you people, I no even mind to pay extra for this food.
Honestly.
Iya Madina. Kai gaskiya wallahi, your restaurant has moved to another level. Next level under the column.
Yes, sir.
I beg me clap for iya Madina. You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online. Or visit www.nta.ng. For stream, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Information is power. Everyone wants power.
Hello Nigeria, welcome to Newsline. I am Becky Madujemo. Thanks for tuning in. In less than 3 weeks, 2019 will come to an end. Across the country, small and big organizations have been quite busy with activities to close the chapter and open a new one. In other words, Christmas is in the air. Among the features that align with the Yuletide is a drive-through areas where the mood of the season is evident. In addition to that, you will have the pleasure of watching several end-of-year parties, awards and festivals, including gatherings. Kind-hearted Nigerians showed a great deal of kindness to the needy. We also intend to visit tourist sites, and the locations we have penciled down stand out remarkably. The crime stories are also in this edition. We'll take a look at the spate of extrajudicial killings and details of the kidnap of 3 female students in Bayelsa State. Before we bring these and more reports, let's hear the news. Over to Rhoda Anonam for that.
Thank you very much, Becky. Good evening, Nigeria, and thank you for joining us. The presidency has reacted to some of the insinuations in the media about the arrest by the Department of State Services of Omoyele Sowore. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the DSS does not necessarily need the permission of the presidency in all cases to carry out its essential responsibilities. Anyone who's followed his actions and words should not be surprised that Sowore is a person of interest to the DSS, as no government would allow anybody to openly call for destabilization in the country and do nothing. Nigerians are therefore implored to let the course of justice run peacefully. More Nigerian youths are becoming active participants in the fight against corruption, having seen its negative impact in the social and economic development of the country. Francis Form was at the Michelle's Youth Say No to Corruption campaign in Abuja, and now reports.
Now, the youth take the lead in ridding Nigeria of corruption, and this gathering is not only to sensitize more youths, but also to honor those among them that stand out in that regards.
I have always been this very driven person that feels like, she can stand up for every person's right and, is the boldest amongst all to confront what it is and all that.
If you say no to corruption, and you say no to corruption, and you say no to corruption, corruption will be no. So it's about all of us coming in together to say no.
Speakers are quick to remind the youth again about the ills of corruption.
The moment your conduct, actions, or your inactions affects in your own dishonesty, affects your next level, you are corrupt.
You want somebody who gives you money before you can vote, and then you want that man to come and perform when you voted a carpenter and moved a banker.
Zero tolerance for corruption is a linchpin that all of us should key in and take advantage of the corruption debate.
The youth campaign against corruption is in commemoration of 2019 International Anti-Corruption Day with the theme, Together We Can Fight Against Corruption. In Abuja, Frank's from NTN News.
The Minister of Environment, Mohammed Mahmoud, has tasked Nigerian delegates to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change in Spain, Madrid, to explore possible means of building climate change resilience in Nigeria. Meeting with the delegates, the minister reminded them of federal government's commitment to ensuring that Nigeria meets up her internationally determined contributions with the time frame agreed at the Paris Conference of 2013.
The livelihood of the people, and this is something that we cannot let up. We'll only have to continue to push forward, to do our best and best again and again.
Now, recent findings by the United Nations Environment Programme indicates that the world ecosystem is being threatened by plastic littering the environment. To address this environmental concern, a group of youths is partnering with the German embassy to promote a reduction in the use of plastic containers by Nigerians. Olabode Arewa takes it from here.
Plastic, a non-biodegradable substance, is used for a variety of purposes in our modern world. The Ocean Cleanup Project, a non-governmental organization, estimates that about 1 million plastic bags are used every minute around the world, with about 8 million metric tons of such plastics ending up in the oceans and rivers as waste. The Environment for Sustainable Change Initiative, a group of youths interested in a sustainable environment, believes that the environment could be healthier when people adopt more eco-friendly products rather than plastics.
In May of 2020, this year, the House of Rep passed a bill called the Plastic Bag Prohibition Bill, and up till now we don't know the status as it is. We cannot keep waiting on government. We have to start doing something because a lot of plastic is causing a lot of problems in our waterways, air we drink.
The group's No Thanks campaign took the message of sustainable change to shoppers in Abuja.
Just don't use the plastic bags. That's the first step. And then if you use plastic bottles, recycle them. There are several structures now all around the city.
It's not a bad idea.
having to change the use of polythene bag because it takes a very long time for it to decompose.
A Catch Them Young program is already in place to ensure that very young people key into the campaign in Abuja or Labodarewa. NTA News.
An important key player in the nation's financial system, the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation says it is poised to support the growth of businesses through robust supervision of insured deposit in financial institutions across the country. The Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of NDIC, Umaru Ibrahim, gave this indication during the NDIC Special Day at the 40th edition of the Kano International Trade Fair. Fatima Ali reports.
In 1989, the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation is saddled with the responsibility to, among other things, promote public confidence in the financial system and gently conduct risk-based supervision of banks to ensure early identification and timely intervention in potentially troubled banks. The annual event is therefore a veritable platform for NDIC to educate Nigerians on its activities and to engage directly with depositors of closed financial institutions who are yet to access their trapped funds and prefer way forward. In the message, Managing Director and Chief Executive of the NDIC, Umar Ibrahim, said the corporation has been able to deliver on its mandate through collaborative efforts with the nation's apex bank.
The essence is to enlighten and further improve on financial literacy by telling members of the public what our functions are and how to encourage them to do their finances, more especially dealing with their banks in the most appropriate manner.
If anybody has any complaint, whether it is dispensing error of an ATM machine, wrong debit, or spurious charges by the banks, they can always come to the information client office of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and will look into the problems and investigate, and it will be properly addressed.
The NDIC Special Day at the 40th edition of Kano International Trade Fair, which attracted traditional rulers, top government functionaries, and captains of industries, featured interactive sessions. Fatima Aliu, NTA News.
Director of the Federal Polytechnic Nekede, Imo State, says the institution remains committed to academic excellence so as to complement federal government's efforts towards economic development. He was speaking at the 20th convocation ceremony of the institution. Kate Osunwa has details.
2018 graduating sets of 10,000 students, they are said to have met the requirement for the award of national and higher national diplomas, as well as certificate courses. Rector Federal Polytechnic Nekede, Dr. Michael Aramama, says the institution has recorded milestones through academic excellence and infrastructural development. He particularly acknowledged State Fund and fellows institution for their contributions to the development of the Polytechnic.
We have hit strongly into the fight against corruption, which His Excellency Mr. President is so passionately committed to.
Governor Emeka Ihejoha says ongoing 17-kilometer road reconstruction works on Nekede Ihagwa catchment areas of the Federal Polytechnic and the Federal University of Technology is part of his commitment to repositioning the major institutions in the state.
But as governor, one fundamental thing I would do would be to ensure that we restore back the institutions of our state, to ensure that the infrastructure of our state is good.
Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, who was represented, assures of greater commitment to the development of the institution.
The government is committed to strengthening capacity of the academic staff in our tertiary institutions through tech-borne interventions.
Some of the best graduating students shared their view.
Looking at the process I passed through in high institution, it wasn't really easy.
Ino Osungwa, NTA News.
Zenith Bank PLC has held its 14th edition of the Christmas Youth Parade designed to support, nurture and empower the Nigerian child. Amaka O reports that more than 30 schools from Lagos State attended the parade.
With participants drawn from selected public schools and alternative care homes, this parade can be described as a mega festival and an avenue to usher in the Yuletide and New Year for the children. tagged Heroes of Our Times, Past, Present and Future. Executive Director Zenith Bank PLC, Dennis Olisa, said some Nigerians will be honored to serve as inspiration to the children and pursue their dreams with greater vigor.
When you highlight the strength, the resilience, the vision that were exemplified by our heroes past, they want to share with that, they want to imbibe it, and then ensure that it stays with them as long as they live.
There's a lot of greatness in the children. So what we're doing is that we are making a deposit, into their hearts.
And in various ways, we try to invest more in the society that has been so nice to us. So investment in youth development is also investment for tomorrow.
It makes sense for us to bring the children quite early enough into the banking space, expose them to financial literacy so that they start learning what it is to keep money aside for savings, to learn about investment and learn about financial management.
Children engage themselves in various games to catch up with the mood of the season. Awards were given to some living legends who have excelled in their various professional fields. Dance performance by various artists added color to the event. As one of the leading commercial banks in the country, Zenith Bank PLC is committed to championing causes that project the development of the Nigerian youths. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
The Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, has enjoined tertiary institutions in the country to take character modeling seriously and implement policies that must conform with the yearnings of the masses. Boss Mustafa was speaking at the presentation ceremony of the Volume 2 Compendium of the Ahmadu Bello University alumni in honor of recently elected and appointed members of the prestigious institutions into key national and international positions. Deborah Micah reports.
An array of personalities as members of the alumni of Ahmadu Bello University converged on Abuja in honor of those appointed and elected into key national positions across the world. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, proposed the role the alumni should play in reviving the education sector.
As parents, guardians, leaders in our own right, we must take character molding, mentoring, etc., much more seriously at home, workplace, and the society at large.
The institution, which has positioned itself to producing eminent leaders across the globe, currently has 13 ministers who are members of the Alumni Association alongside 8 governors.
That were able to unveil in a time space of 4 months the second volume of the compendium speaks volume.
I thanked Mr. President for appointing 14 of our alumni members.
You have brought the person to the limelight of the people. You have showcased him and is duty bound to succeed.
The event, organized by the national body of the Alumni Association, presented to the public the volume 2 of a compendium of the Alumni Association.
That we're all gathered here today in fulfillment of that need, which is the second volume.
With a pledge by members to sustain the vision of the founding fathers, the association is committed to maintain high level of integrity. Deborah Micah, NTA News.
Sons and daughters of Igbomina living in Lagos have been enjoined to love one another if they want Igbomina land to progress. Chairman Omoibile Igbomina, Lagos State, gave the advice during the 2019 Igbomina Day in Lagos. Ken Igbeluge reports.
Igbomina is a subgroup of the Yoruba ethnic group in Kwara State. Every year, the Igbomina people living in Lagos organize a cultural day known as Igbomina Day. The aim is to bring together sons and daughters living in the state to discuss issues affecting them and how they can develop their communities back home. Chairman Igbomina in Lagos urged them to always demonstrate love to one another and give helping hand to those in need of assistance.
We want to come together for unity purpose, for cooperation, for understanding, and more importantly, our youth, to bring them together and give them a cultural value of Igbomina.
There is this need for us to get together, unify ourselves, synergize together to bring Igbomina land to take them to the next level.
Towards unifying the Igbomina sons and daughters in Lagos, there was a fundraising to build Igbomina House in the state. Prominent son of Igbomina is the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluke, NTA News.
Now, when you hear the word sexy on social media, what really comes to mind? Revealing clothes, expensive clothes, handwork, or intellectualism? Now, let's hear from the horse's mouth, Mohammed Miriam Maktab, the convener of Intelligence is Sexy. Linda Okoregwe reports.
Exposes people, especially the young folks, to all sorts of societal ills, ranging from nudity, violence, and many more. In order to right some of the wrongs created by social media, Mariam Mohammed Maktob is using her social media handle to promote and get the Nigerian youth population embrace the ideas of hard work and intellectualism rather than seeking acceptance, materialism, fake glamorous lifestyles, and get-rich-quick syndrome. Exploring the theme, Intelligence is Sexy, the aim is encouraging Nigerian youth to embrace the positive usage of social media.
I like this. I like that, it's bringing us back to our norm, how things were back in the day, where it was just through hard work, intelligence, being consistent, being diligent that takes you far in life. So, so my advice to the youth is, you can't cut corners.
I say to Nigerian youth is that the way you use your youth will determine how you die. Whether you die having been self-actualized and realized, or you die in depression.
My advice to youth is that look at social media as a tool that should be in your hand, and not a tool that is controlling you.
While celebrating her birthday, Mariam uses the occasion to reorient and sensitize the youth on creativity and entrepreneurship that will allow them to become active participants in the digital revolution and economy.
To know their worth. My worry on what goes on social media at the moment, the youth seeing the social media as an avenue for sex and body gratification.
Killing two birds with one stone, you may say, wishing Mariam Mohammed Maktob happy birthday.
President Muhammadu Buhari has given thumbs up to the world heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua for regaining his belt on Saturday night in a rematch with Mexican Andy Ruiz Jr. In a statement signed by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari rejoices with Joshua, saluting him for bringing joy to millions of Nigerians at home and in the diaspora, who had rooted for him to regain the titles he lost about 6 months ago. The downfall of a man is truly not the end of his life. There's always another day and a better day. This is a lesson we must learn from you as a country, President Buhari tells the comeback world champion. He wishes Anthony Joshua well as he seeks to bring more glory to Nigeria and to the boxing profession. Similarly, the All Progressives Congress has congratulated the Nigerian-born Anthony Joshua on becoming a two-time world heavyweight champion following his victory over Andy Ruiz Jr. in a rematch in Saudi Arabia. The party, in a statement by its National Publicity Secretary, Lanre Issa Onilu, is proud of Anthony Joshua, describes him as a stunning comeback victory which saw him take the IBF, WBA, IBO and WBO titles. Now let's join Kene Emma Abudike for the sports update.
No away win was recorded